We were talking about overcoming fear and anxiety. We're saying not just that. I think all things are connected with the body and the mind. If you have a physical ailment,
Well, that's not, I don't think overcoming fear, that almost makes it sound like we're in a battle with it. I don't want you to overcome it. I want you to understand what fear is. I think what's more important about anything is understanding what something is. It's like a rock. If we understand what the rock is, it doesn't become something magical. It becomes, oh, this rock was made when the volcano erupted, and then it was compressed, and then over 1 billion years it became this and this and this. It's not some magical thing. It becomes something we understand, how it originated, where it came from, why it exists, right? So then instead of overcoming it, like, I don't want to overcome the rock. I want to understand the rock. I want to understand the tree. I want to understand myself. So I think once we understand ourselves and why we have anger or why we have fear, once you have that understanding, I don't think you have to overcome it. I think once you understand anything, you've mastered it, I guess.
well, do you think there's something to be said about what that guy Joe Dispenza said? Waiting is not creating. You can't just wait for something to get better. You have to create a whole new person. Like, supposedly, I'm supposed to be a new person now and say, that was the old me that had the bladder problem. I'm a different person now. Am I?
Well, again, you can try to change yourself superficially, but I think deep down, unless you actually take a hard look at who is Jen, like
What if you don't know what's bothering you? Like right now, I didn't know that. How do you figure that out?
Well, that's where I used the tree. I said, look at these 3 nodules. Find one you like to look at. Just look deeply at it.
And then whatever comes to your mind.
No, here's what I want you to recognize. I want you to take 1 minute, just 1 minute, to allow yourself to look deeply at the tree and have the mind quiet. Okay, so all you're focusing on is the body. You're feeling your body. You're feeling the heat, temperature. You're just aware of the presence of your body. Now, generally, in our minds are chattering. They're saying different things. Just push that aside for right now. I just want you to look and feel. And have no verbal dialogue with yourself. Just look and feel. Just for a minute, not even 30 seconds. Just try it. Tell me when that mind is nice and quiet.
Well, I'm feeling everything in my body, so it's not
Good.
quiet.
Well, you're feeling it. You're not talking to yourself, right?
Right.
Are there any verbal words coming into your mind when you're looking and feeling?
No.
Good. So stay in that state for a minute. All right, that's great. So you stayed in that for a few seconds, and you saw in that state that you were fully aware, present, right? You were seeing this tree, and you were feeling your body. It means you're grounded in reality. You're not grounded in imagination, where when you think about things, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be somewhere else, or wouldn't it be great if I could be free of pain? Wouldn't it be, all that language, that wasn't existing, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you now is, now that you know what presence and grounded feels like, now I want you to look, when you look at this tree, I want you to look into your mind and see what things are there that want to come out. Speak them out loud when they come into your mind.
I don't always want to be afraid that something's going to end. Like when this trip ends, or when I'm in the sea, I have to get out. I almost don't want to do things because they're going to end. I feel that's a disservice to me.
Okay, so we can see that those thoughts are creating what would you call that, a fear, I guess? Because you're afraid of things not ending?
It stops me from as much as I embrace the day and enjoy it. I embrace it, enjoy it too much for fear that it's never going to happen again.
Okay, so now, instead, what I would say is, when you look at this, and you're feeling your body, when that thought comes what would happen if you just said, I'm pushing that aside, I don't care about that thought. What would happen if you let that thought go?
It would just be a nice freedom and peace.
But why don't we do that? From what I
Habit.
see, that's what I see. I see it's a habit that we've become so accustomed to wanting that companion of verbal communication in our mind that we let that person keep talking to us. We think that's us talking, but it's really not. It's all of our fears, it's all of our angers, it's all of our inadequacies. It's never really that positive of a voice. It's never that thing that's building you up, telling you what a great person you are and saying, hey, you don't really need me. I'm going to take a back seat. It's always there trying to tell you what to do, that voice, right?
It can be positive as well.
How often is it positive? Usually it's more positive for other people.
What do you mean?
Well, usually most people are always trying to build up someone else with their voice, meaning like, hey, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine.
No, I think in your internal voice, you say, like, even yesterday with the dogs, say, I'm in control, I got this.
But again, see what that means? It means it's trying to overcome something. If you were in this place of groundedness, does fear exist in that place?
No.
Where does fear come from?
Your mind.
You create the fear, right?
Right.
I mean, now there are physical fears. If a dog comes running at you, it's good to react and maybe grab the dog or push him away. But psychologically, like you're afraid of your bladder problem. Is there a bladder problem right now?
No.
Nothing, right? But that fear of it coming back can only be there because you think about it, what happened in the past, right? It's over. It ended weeks ago. But now you think with verbal communication in your mind, you say, oh my God, I hope that doesn't come back. That was so terrible. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Creating stress, creating anxiety that builds and builds and builds. And then eventually, maybe it even produces it because that stress can produce so many different ailments. Whereas if every time one of those thoughts came in and you saw that it did that, that's what I'm saying about becoming aware of fear. If you saw that thinking about your bladder problem caused stress, and you said, wait a second, I see what causes my problems. It's my thinking. What if I just let go of that? Not fight it, not try to resist it, but just let go. So instead of having it, instead of using it as a crutch to let that worry almost be something I want, I'm done with that. Would there be any fear in that direction anymore?
No.
But we don't let go of it, do we?
We try to.
No, we don't. We really don't. We're never truly, because to try to, first of all, I don't want to say trying, I want to say we don't do it. Because trying implies that it's like,
Maybe we want to.
no, but if we want to do something, don't we do it?
If you really want something,
You do it,
you
right?
do it.
That's what I mean. So we don't try. We don't try to go on vacation. That means we really don't want to go on vacation. If I want to go on vacation, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to go on vacation. If I want to find someone to fall in love with, I'm going to find that person. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to reach out. And I'm going to find it. So it's about doing. If you really want to be done with those thoughts, you'll be done with them. It doesn't take time.
Yeah.
It's not something I have to try to do. I just do it. It's like when I want to work out in the morning, I don't try to work out. I wake up and I say, I'm going to work out. We have become so habitual in our, I'm going to do it later. I'll do that tomorrow. It's not easy to sit there and face the things that are causing your stress and say, I'm done. I'm free of that. It's not easy. put those things down. Because they are what we imagine we really are. But what I'm telling you is when you're grounded and you're looking and you're free of all thoughts, that's who you really are. We don't spend any time with that person, with that, because it feels empty. Thought fills us with something. Thought fills us with purpose. Right? You have meaning when you have pain. Oh my God, I have this pain. I have to go see doctors. I have to go do this. I have to figure out what's wrong with me. I have to eat better. I have to think. I have to meditate more. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. It gives us purpose. Being grounded, being free, being in an effortless, calm state, does nothing for the mind. The mind hates that. It doesn't give it anything. It doesn't present any challenge to it. It wants to be figuring out why that person doesn't like me. It wants to be figuring out, oh, you should be outside gardening. Oh, you should be doing this. Oh, you should be doing that. You should be doing this. The mind doesn't want to sit still. Why doesn't the mind want to sit still? Because thought, at its very essence, is incomplete. When you have a thought, like right now, give me one thought about today. Just one.
That I'm grateful for the fresh air, and I just love breathing the fresh air.
Okay. Now, is that one thought, does that encompass all of life? Just about the fresh air, right?
Right.
So that thought, in its essence, is incomplete. It's just one little piece of life, fresh air. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else. It doesn't have to do with the children starving in Uganda. It doesn't have to do with your mom. It doesn't have to do with me. It doesn't have anything else to do with that. It just has one little thing.
Right.
So now imagine that thought was directed in a bad way. Imagine it was, oh my God, my bladder hurts today. That one little thought. That one little thought can ruin an entire day.
It's true.
Because it's incomplete. It can't see that, oh yeah, there's a little
But
pain.
you have to recognize that, because if that thought could be there and you might not be aware.
That's why it's so important to really ground yourself all the time. To be totally aware of what your mind is doing. And then when those things come in, that's what intelligence is, right? Intelligence is being able to sit there as you go through life, see the thoughts that come in, and say, no, you don't get to come into my mind. Bye-bye. When the good ones come in, like, it's so beautiful. That can stay. There's nothing wrong with that. See its incompleteness. See that it's not encompassing everything about your life. But for that moment, it's okay. But when a negative one comes in, like, oh, why is that person, why doesn't that person talk to me nicer? Or why are they, they should really be doing this. When I stay at their home, they should have this prepared and this prepared. Is that bringing joy into your life? Or is that an incomplete thought that is causing struggle, angst, not freedom, not love? That thought's not loving. So we just let it go. We don't analyze it. We don't get into it. We just see it for what it is. And if it's good, it stays. If it's bad, we let it go. Is it bringing you love, that thought?
No.
That's fair, so fresh. Is that bringing you joy and bringing you to become a better person? Yeah.
Yes.
Let it stay. But see, we let the mind just run amok. And we accept those ones that come in, and we accept the bad, and we don't do anything about it. We just let them all come. And so we're at the mercy of our mind. That's why we're in the chaos we see around the world. Every other person's acting the same exact way. So when things go right, look at me. We were going to come do this recording, and things weren't going the way I wanted, and I threw a tantrum. Right?
But the other person should be in control of how they react to that. That's the struggle as well. You, as Marcus Aurelius says, you only have control over your mind and how you react. I cannot control my external circumstances. I can't control you, the weather. All I control is how I react to that.
Right. So the only way I wouldn't say control, because control implies resistance. What I would say is aware. Become aware. When you see me losing my cool, that's when your awareness kicks in and say, How is my mind responding to this? And then again, it comes back to what thought's coming in, let it in, let it go. Like when you and I were arguing, how did I end the argument?
Just being silent.
I just stopped. I just put up a stop sign to myself and I said, I'll stop. I get it now. I get it that any more of this is just going to continue on. So I'll stop all thoughts. I'll just stop, become present. I'll look at you. I'll become aware. I saw your anger. I saw your frustration. You went at me for a while, but then I wasn't giving you anything to fight with. Your frustration came because you wanted to continue, because your mind was going off. But then quickly you calmed right down. You came right down because there was nothing more to resist. The only way the argument continues is if I keep battling you. If we have something to fight against. When the other person puts their weapons down, and that was Gandhi's most amazing trick. Right? He went to go fight the English. They're shooting the guys in the streets, and what did he figure out? He said to his people, he said, don't fight back, just stand there. Let them kill you, but don't fight back. Just give love. Just stand there. Just say, I resist your aggression, but I will not fight. I will not hit you. General goes back to the queen. Queen says, what's going on with the war? How come we can't beat this guy? They don't even have weapons. He said, you don't understand. You can't kill someone that doesn't fight back. It makes you feel horrible because they're not doing anything for you to, like when someone comes at me with a knife, I can kill them. But when someone just stands there and looks at me, it's very hard to kill someone like that. Because there's no reason to. Then it's all on you. Then you are being the aggressor towards that thing. That thing is helpless. It's saying, I'm not going to do anything here. And so he pushed back the whole army, won the whole battle without once firing a bullet. But we're doing that all the time in our mind. We're fighting with our own mind. We're in resistance to ourselves. Instead of just saying, no, I'm done with that. It doesn't have to be a big struggle. Just, no, you can't come here. I'm done. So that's what learning about ourselves is. Becoming aware of ourselves. So these thoughts are going to come out at random times. When they happen, you find yourself in the middle of an argument like we were. The progress is saying, oh, no, I get it. I see it. Boom, boom. I'm not going to go any further. Yeah. We're not going to stop all arguments.
Right.
That's not life. Life's going to present us arguments. It's how do we deal with those arguments when they come?
Yes,
do we learn quickly in them, or do they spiral out of control and they last for 10 days?
Yeah.
One of the greatest things about our relationship is we have said we don't carry anything past one day.
Yeah.
We've never carried anything past a few hours, but we literally have never gone to sleep at night in a fight.
No. You don't know if you're going to wake up the next morning.
So we don't want to end on a fight. Well, let's do that in our own personal minds. As soon as you see yourself starting to battle with yourself internally, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I see that all the time with you when we're choosing a house, where to stay. You read all the reviews, you can't decide, you like both, you like both, you like both. What should you do internally?
You just go with your gut.
No. We just said, when I was fighting with you, what did I do?
Stop.
If you just stop, what happens? The fight ends. There's no more struggle. There's no more resistance. Then you'll just make a choice. It won't even be a choice. You'll just move in that direction. Choice at its essence signifies confusion, right? If you have to choose between which house, what does that say about your mind? You're confused.
Right.
Right? You can't decide. You're confused. Do you think anyone should be making decisions when they're confused?
No.
So if you're confused, what's the one thing you can do when you're confused? You can just stop. Just stop right then in your tracks and say, I am in a total state of confusion. I shouldn't be choosing right now. I should stop. Get rooted in reality. Become calm. Let those thoughts go. see that they're causing the confusion, there'll be a peace, and you'll make a move in one direction or the other. Right or wrong, you'll make a decision. You'll make a move.
I feel better.
Good. I feel better. Your thoughts aren't racing much anymore, are they? You feel very grounded, right?
I do, and I feel that it's important to maintain that sense of peace, not just in a beautiful environment,
Of course.
but when we go back to New York, you're always going to be with yourself, so that peace has to stay with you no matter where you are. And I always thought I had that, but something went askew and things got built up and I wasn't aware of.
You know, I heard something really cool the other day. Someone said, without space, they were talking about a cup, a coffee cup. And they said, you know, without space, there is no cup. Meaning, you have to have the space for the cup to exist.
Right, okay.
Okay? So, if we look around us, there's always space. Right? There's always space. I feel like in that space, all around us, the same way, peace is always there. It's always there. You can just see nature. Nature is always at peace. I mean, peace in the sense of it's just happening. It's just always happening, regardless of us and what we think and our struggles internally in our mind. The tree is growing. The tree is dying. The storms are coming. The storms are going. Life is just always happening. It's always in a constant state of movement. So that peace within us that you feel when your mind is quiet and you're looking at the three nodules, it's always there. You can always access it. It's just always covered up by our mind.
Yeah.
So when you're saying, and you go back to New York City, remember, the same feeling you feel right now, it's there in New York City with you. It's just you're not feeling it because you're letting all the things of the outer get to you. You're letting the noises, the dogs that you can't stand, going to the bathroom on the ground.
No fresh air.
You're letting people's rudeness get to you, and you're criticizing it in your mind. You're saying, why is that person so rude? And, oh, it's so disgusting. And you're talking to yourself. And as soon as we start talking to ourselves, in any level, that peace is covered up. It's covered up. I don't even like to call it peace. I call it love. Because I feel like when I'm in that state of that totally grounded, centered feeling of no thought, that's love. That's no fear, no anger, no jealousy. It's none of those things. The only thing left is love. What is love? Love to me is gentleness, caring, awareness, sensitivity.
It's true.
You can have that anywhere you want.
Yeah.
So if we get confused in our mind, what do?
Just be quiet. Just stop.
Stop.